All right, baby. We got a good one. Sunday Night Football. Chiefs, Raiders. Mahomes and the Chiefs have only lost one time in the last calendar year, and it was to the Las Vegas Raiders. Almost called them Oakland. Still not used to it. Sorry, Las Vegas. But John Gruden and company did some really interesting things on the defensive side of the ball that really posed some problems for Andy Reid and Mahomes in this game, where we saw them have struggles that we just normally don't see them have. All right, and this is where I'm going to go inside the numbers, powered by AWS. Week 5, Chiefs versus Raiders. All right, Patrick Mahomes had average 3.74 seconds from snap to pass. You got that? 3.74 average from snap to pass. Highest in the NFL this season. So pressure didn't matter in the game. That didn't lead to, Mahomes having issues. In fact, it's going to be quite the opposite. It's going to be more about coverage. There was 4 turnover-worthy plays, most of Mahomes' season to this point, okay? So that just tells you coverage, some of the things they did, very creative. And really I think the Raiders took some things from what they've seen the Patriots in the past do to the Kansas City Chiefs that caused them some problems. And hey, don't waste your time blitzing Patrick Mahomes. You're wasting your time. You're banging your head against the wall. He's going to check to the proper protection. He's going to find the right matchup, or you'll get a free blitzer and he'll make a miss, and then he's going to throw a 60-yard bomb. So stop wasting your time. And good job by the Raiders. All right, so here we go. Here's a play Kansas City runs quite often, all right? And in this play specifically, this was 7:30 in the third quarter, all right, third down play, and verticals. Hey, this is what Kansas City loves to do. Verticals, and you don't know which way Kelsey is going to go. They'll run this concept on this side, and sometimes Kelsey will run an out route. Sometimes he runs a curl route. And on this one, you can see he goes over the middle on a little 10-yard in cut. Now, here's what the Raiders do. 2 things that are awesome. 3-man rush, right? They're not worried about the blitz. They're more worried about covering downfield. They got 99 Arden Key right here. And what they do with him consistently through this game was he was kind of a de facto spy on Patrick Mahomes. Now here he doesn't spy, but I think it's important to talk about what he does. They run a little game here where Crosby comes inside, right? So Mahomes thinks, oh wait, I can't step up because there's somebody here. And then Mahomes loves to run to his right side. And when Crosby comes inside, Key comes out here, and he's there if Mahomes does want to run outside. So they do a good job, first off, of just keeping Mahomes in the pocket because he's very dangerous when he extends plays. Now, the second part of the genius here and what they're doing, they're going to run a cover 1, man-to-man, 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 man-to-man. He's going to go back to the single safety, okay? And we would call this cover 1 robber because now they're going to bring this weak side safety down, and he's going to be a robber looking to rob anything that comes across the field. He's basically just playing the middle, the eyes of the quarterback, and going to rob one of those type of routes. He's not covering anybody man-to-man. So there's the general premise of the play. Mahomes' first read is right here to 17, Mecole Hardman, who's doing this. Now, the awesome part of this is the DB we have here, okay, as he comes up with Mecole Hardman, he knows he has help inside, so he doesn't try to undercut him or do anything like that. In fact, they've been so well taught that they go, hey, instead of you chasing him across the field, why don't, once you get to this point and you see, okay, he is about to go across the field, hey, 25, since you're right here, you take over and cover Mecole Hardman, and now 26 will sit here and switch roles with 25 and play the robber position, all right? And, we got 50 man-to-man on LaShawn McCoy over here. So there, Mahomes at first is seeing, wait, 25 stopped in the middle of the field and now went with my deep crosser. I should have Travis Kelce. But he's not expecting that he switches roles over here. And he tries to throw a ball to Travis Kelce that's tightly contested and ultimately ends up being incomplete. But it's just a great example of making your front end and your back end work. Here's one part to we got to contain Mahomes, and here's a second part in we're playing a coverage that gives their overall route concept some issues, and we got a lot of people, covering and playing man-to-man, but we got a few people just playing the eyes of Patrick Mahomes, and that was very effective the first time around. All right, we got another play I want to break down from the Chiefs-Raiders Week 5 matchup. All right, you can see here, similar formation. It's the same exact formation of the play we broke down just a minute ago. All right, it's going to be a little different route combination. And again, a 3-man front. This time they're only going to rush 3, and they're going to use Arden Key as basically a spy, just to sit there and kind of wait for if Mahomes breaks. Either way, they're going to be all over him and not let him break and then have another 4 or 5 seconds to set up and throw a bomb to Tyreek Hill or Travis Kelce. No, they don't want that. So when he does break, they're going to have a guy there all over him. This is an interesting coverage. And again, I don't even know if I know everything that went on here. That's the beauty of what the Raiders did. This was a game plan specific thing they did, and this is why it gave Kansas City issues, because I'm sure they're looking at the film going, I'm not really sure what their rules are here either way. But it's a combination coverage of man zone. And you're going to see safety 25, man-to-man on Travis Kelce. Corey Littleton 42, man-to-man on Clyde Edwards-Helaire right here, okay? So they're going to play man all the way. Edwards-Helaire is going to go this way. That'll get him out of the way. There you go. Now you're going to have your pass rushers, all right? Oops. Sorry. They're going to have their pass rushers, and he's going to sit there and wait. Now what they're doing here on the front side is playing zone. And that's where it's interesting. So they cheat Jeff Heath over here to look like at first, hey, it's cover 2 over here, or you're not going to be able to throw just a one-on-one ball to Travis Kelce. But as the snap goes, he starts to climb up this way, and he starts to really then ultimately end up taking Mecole Hardman on this little skinny post or seam route right up through. But now the other aspect of what they're doing, 44 Kwiatkowski, 24 Abrams. You got Mullen here, and I believe this is LaMarcus Joyner, all right? And what they're doing is a little thing that we call box the bunch. There's a bunch of receivers here, and it's basically like, hey, you're in charge of that area, you're in charge of that area, you're in charge of down here if anybody comes down short, and then 29, you're in charge of anybody over here. So you can see that kind of becomes a square, a box. That's why they call it box the bunch. 44 knows I got the first guy that comes inside short. 24 knows I got the first guy that comes inside deep, and that's how they're going to play this off. So now Mahomes drops back to pass. He thinks he's got all day. Okay, he's stepping up in the pocket, but as he sits there and he starts to see, 13 go across the formation, he's still going this way, okay? As he goes this way, 44 follows him. He's going to match him in his zone. As 17 starts to fly up this way, 24 takes him and starts to run. But then he sees Heath is taking him, and he tries to replace for 38 and go over here. Mullen ends up in no man's land because there's nobody in his area. And 29 really ends up in no man's land because there's nobody in his area either. And he kind of ends up moving down here. But either way, the timing and rhythm of the play is off. He gets off of 87 too quick because he was fooled by Heath. He didn't know if he was helping out on that. So then he gets over here, and there's a whole bunch of bodies all over his 3-man route. It ended up basically being 5 guys on 3 in the pass route combination. Ultimately, Mahomes ended up moving up in the pocket, getting out here. Crosby went way high, came back, but Mahomes had to slow down because Arden Key was right there. They ended up getting the sack, and that was that. But again, these are 2 examples that just show you it's not always about pressure. It's about confusing the quarterback's brain when what he sees pre-snap, what he sees post-snap, and then having the right coverage combinations to stop some of the schematics of what Kansas City Chiefs did. Raiders were special in the first matchup. I expect some change-ups from the Chiefs. Let's see what they are.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.